Oh, nerd news. Jesus, let's get on with this.
Yeah, that's... I'd like to point out this has been your fault this week.
Yep. But it was your fault last week, so that's equal.
Was it?
Yeah.
I kept forgetting stuff.
Yeah. Nerd news. What's been happening in the
news.
world of nerd? Jack Kempster. Nerd.
Oh, well, Liam, I had stuff, but I've sort of lain down and I'm having a little nap, so I've sort of forgotten it all.
Okay, so let me start then.
No, I'm just joking. X-Men Apocalypse, the final trailer came out. Liam's not happy. I don't mind. The trailer was okay. It's not. I'm not like hugely excited about this film, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I've seen the trailer that came out before this a couple of times now because they show it in the cinema before movies. You know, like they tend to do with trailers.
Yeah.
I'm not excited for the movie, but I quite like the way that trailer's been put together with the music and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
This one just felt like any box standard trailer. I honestly would have been perfectly content with never seeing it. I think it gave away something that I didn't really need it to give away. It just showed a lot of people screaming. I didn't need to see it. Like my excitement levels after seeing this trailer have probably gone down instead of up, and that is...
Well, that seems ridiculous.
That is the opposite of what a trailer should do.
I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with you on that point.
What is exciting about this trailer?
Nothing, but I feel like it hasn't lowered my level of excitement.
But if it hasn't risen it either, then it was
hard,
pointless.
It's hard for a trailer to do that to me, get me less excited about a film, unless it's like all the trailers have been pointing to like an action-packed film, and then they do a final trailer that reveals that it's actually a film about two people talking in a room.
No, I mean, I guess also you got to bear in mind, like I've come to this movie being very indifferent about it. Like I'll go and see it, but I'm not excited.
Whereas, I'm not like crazy excited about it.
Yeah, but
I just liked the other films, and I'm hoping this one.
I like the other films too. First Class is a really good movie. X-Men 2 is one of the better comic movies made, in my opinion.
Well, that's insane.
Really?
Well, X-Men X2 is in X2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the better comic book movies made.
No.
Well.
Not at this point. Not with all the other comic book films we've had.
I'd still give it a solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah, no, it's a good film. I'm just saying I don't think it's, And
also bearing in mind it did come before like the Iron Man
but
kind
that
of resurgence.
That doesn't give it a bonus to being... You said it was one of the best comic book movies of all time. Just because it's old doesn't make it better.
No, but it's 4 out of 5. Iron Man, 4 out of 5.
I'm not disagreeing with you on the rating. I'm saying it's a good film. I'm
It's
just
up
saying
there.
I don't think it's one of the best comic book movies.
I'd probably put it in my top 20.
But I mean, that's fine. That's not too high.
But you consider how many comic book movies there are.
I don't think there's
400.
400?
Feels like it. I'd say you could probably do... There's probably 100 at this point.
Yeah, but I think most of the ones that came before the new batch of comic book movies were shit.
What?
Most of the ones
Yeah.
that came before Marvel and DC doing their two new universes.
So 2008.
Yeah, I think most of the ones before that.
Which also had
shit.
Dark Knight, don't forget. Yeah, I think you need to throw in Chris Nolan there as well.
That's fine, yeah. So that's why I said most.
Yeah.
I didn't say all, I said most.
Yeah.
Most of them were shit. I think that's fair to say.
So X-Men?
What are you saying now? I'm very confused by what point you're trying to make.
What did you think of the first X-Men movie?
Good, I enjoyed it.
Which came before... This came in the period where you said that most of shit.
I'd just like to point out, the key word to the sentence I said was most of the movies that came
so I'm
before
just
the new
trying
batch were shit.
I am trying to get a feel for what movies from that period...
So most of the old Batman films, not that good.
Ooh.
Most of them.
Okay.
Again, keyword being most.
Yeah, that's like your kind of cop-out word.
Right, sure. No, it's not a cop-out, Liam. It's to stop people like you, who, if someone tries to make a reasonable point in that I think the newer comic book movies are better than the older ones, so to get that across, I say most of the old ones, because I know there are good ones, like, as you say, I really liked Chris Nolan's Batman trilogy.
Yeah.
I liked all three of them.
But what I'm just trying to get a feel for your view on the X-Men franchise. So the first X-Men movie you liked.
Yes.
X2.
I liked.
X3.
Rubbish.
X Origins Wolverine.
Rubbish.
X First Class.
I liked.
The Wolverine.
Is that the X Origins Wolverine 2 that's not really called that?
This is the one where he's in Japan and stuff.
I saw half of it and the cinema broke and I never saw the end, but I enjoyed the bit I did see.
X Days of Future Past.
I liked.
Have I missed any?
But, see, X First Class and X Days of Future Past, I put in this new batch.
Yeah, no, I see that. I mean, even the Wolverine would fit in that new batch, to be honest.
Yeah, technically it is, yeah. And again, most of the movies in the new batch are really good.
Not all.
But X Origin is not. And Green Lantern isn't, but that's not in the new batch either. But that's what I mean. There are films like Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And the original not even just the original, like Fantastic.
Yeah. The one with Jessica Alba in. Yeah.
Like, those aren't good films.
What about a Spider-Man trilogy? Because that would come in that original
The
kind
Spider-Man
of
trilogy
batch.
was good for the first one,
Yeah.
good for the second one,
Yeah.
then they fucked it up with the third one.
Okay. So I think one of the other things that I like about X2 is it's one of the few instances where I think a sequel is better than the first.
What happens in X2 specifically?
Magneto.
Magneto's in the first one too.
Yeah, he's not as good though, is he?
No, I'm saying to help me remember like what happens in X2.
So X2 does kind of a bit more focus on Wolverine because he's kind of a bit, not a bit player, but like in the first X-Men movie, Wolverine at that stage I'd say isn't really like a main focus. He's one of them, but not the main one. Whereas in all of the ones afterwards that he's in, he is the focus.
Yeah, that's fair.
So X2 is more about him. I believe you start getting little glimpses into his backstory of how he was made and stuff. X2, I think, is the one with Magneto. Is that where he destroys the Golden Gate Bridge?
Possibly.
It's been a few years since I've seen it, I'll be honest.
I can remember the stories of the first one really well.
What's that one then?
That's the one where Magneto creates a serum that turns people into mutants. Mm-hmm. He kidnaps that senator and turns him into like a water-based human being who dissolves on the beach.
Yeah.
It's got Sabretooth. It's got Wolverine fighting in a cage match at the beginning.
Yeah.
Sabretooth fucks up him and Rogue.
So X2 is it has Colonel William Stryker, who...
That's right, and they go back to the like wintry base place.
Yes.
And it's got that's the one that's got the dude, his son, who's had his head cut open and he's been messed with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, cool, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I think they're both really good, X1 and 2.
Yeah. It's a shame about
I don't
X3.
know which one's better. Yeah, X3 is terrible.
So did you know, and I'm sure you did, I'm sure this is why you relate so well to them, but did you know that the X-Men movies tend to be seen as a kind of allegorical...
Not just the X-Men movies, also the X-Men comic books.
Yeah. There's the allegory of them being like... it's like a coming out story almost. It's allegorical for homosexuality.
Yeah, is what one of the like theories of it. But again, that's one of those things where when people put forward things like that, I'm fine. Like, I think it totally could be, and it totally can be, and that can have been what the writers were talking about, or they could have been trying to get that point across. Mm-hmm. But it annoys me when people bring up stuff like that based on the fact that I'm like, but that's not all the film is. Like, I feel like when people do that, it takes away a lot from a film because it feels like...
Do you not think it adds to it?
No, because I think it's taking away from the fact that, I don't know, it feels like if you turn a film into just a point, like, unless the film, like, because there are films where the point of it is they're trying to make a stand and be like, this is wrong, this is right. This is X-Men.
Yeah.
Like, I think the crowd you're getting going to X-Men, I don't think it's going to be a bunch of homophobes who are going there and then are going, this film's made me think about things, and yeah, they're right. Homosexuality's fine. Like, I think the people went to it, probably went, afterwards when people go, oh, that could have been an allegory to homosexuality, they were probably going, right, I really like the man with the frog tongue. Like, I don't think they're coming out of it and having deep thoughts about homosexuality.
But do you not think it could be helpful for maybe if a teenager was to go and see it who was kind of...
Oh, yeah, but see, that's my thing. I'm not talking about whether it's helpful to an individual person having those experiences. I'm not saying it's an issue. I'm just saying it annoys me when people make it a thing. Like, it's fine if someone goes to that film and does take away positive stuff from it. That's good. I'm glad. I don't like it when that becomes the focus. Yeah,
I don't think it ever is the focus.
It's not, but I don't think it adds to it, people bringing that up particularly.
I think it does. There's a really good scene in it.
What does it add to it?
Another layer to appreciate the movie with. So there's a good scene, right, where there is essentially a coming out scene in X2 where there's a kid who has mutant powers. Possibly, yeah.
Yes,
he sits down with his parents and explains to them that he's a mutant, and that one scene, you can entirely read that as a coming out scene, and I'm fairly certain that the director said he intended it to be that way as well. I think it's one of the reasons why Ian McKellen agreed to play Magneto, because of those like kind of undercurrent messages.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that detracts from the film.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it adds to it.
See, I don't know, but it doesn't add to my enjoyment of a film.
Okay.
Like, any subtle message like that
goes straight over your head.
At the end of a film. No, I'm just not coming out at the end of a film and saying, I'm so glad that they dealt with real issues that are affecting everyone. Like, that's not why I'm going to films about mutant superheroes. I'm going to them because I'm like, I really wish that I lived in a world where I had mutant powers. Yeah, I just really like. I think it was a good. I think that X3 let down the X-Men franchise, and it could have ended there, or it could have rebooted. and instead they were like, we're going to change it. We're going to sort of pretend X3 didn't happen.
Do Origins Wolverine, really shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, and then go, we're going to ignore that one too. but see, I'm glad they have, because it's done. Because I think if you keep rebooting stuff so quickly,
yeah, it's annoying.
People get bored of it very quickly.
Hello,
or just fed up with the fact
Spider-Man.
that it's rebooting. Yeah, exactly. Spider-Man is the best example.
Yes.
Like, whereas X-Men, instead of rebooting, they just went, okay, well, we'll look at a different timeline. We'll still have the old characters in it. Like, in Days of Future Past, you've still got the same...
Yeah, I liked that like, how they combined those two.
Yes, I think that was really good.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
it had a lot of Ellen Page, so ding dong.
Exactly, which we're both massive fans of Ellen Page.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to Apocalypse. I hope they do it well.
I'm sure it will. But at this stage, I feel like comic book movies have got to a stage where they're so formulaic. If you play it safe, you can do a generally entertaining movie.
But I don't think X-Men are playing it safe.
It doesn't feel massively different to anything they've done in the past from the trailers.
But But then we're going to have the same falling out about me and you on what formulaic is, because I think you can say anything's formulaic. I think you...
No, because, okay, here we go. Days of Future Past, right? What that did differently, like you said, is it brought all of the old and new cast together.
Yeah.
What is Apocalypse doing different?
No, so that's what... No, so I'm saying you... Right, so my first point would be you can't base whether something's going to be formulaic on the trailers you've seen. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, we'd have had a very different discussion about Batman vs Superman, because I would have also loved it, and it would have been a huge... If it was all just based on what we saw in the trailers, me and you would have been totally on board. We both would have loved that film, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you can't judge this film based on its trailer. I'm saying from past experience, we've seen them not be formulaic with the X-Men franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even 3, which is a bad film, it wasn't formulaic. They did something new.
What was the new thing they did in 3?
Define what you mean by new, though, because I'm going to say something and you're just going to go, no,
go on, what are you going to say?
I'm going to say, like, the stuff like having mutants lose their powers. They hadn't done that in the other 2 X-Men films. That was a new thing.
Okay.
They introduced Magneto's large group of supervillains instead of being just the... Because in the X1 and 2, he's in, like, a team of 5.
Yeah.
In X3, he has an army.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's different. Even though it was bad, they kill off Scott Summers.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, I'm agreeing
Okay.
these are things that don't make it formulaic.
Yeah, so there we go. So from past experience, we've seen them not be particularly formulaic.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I have faith that this won't be formulaic.
Okay. I also feel like Oscar Isaacs is going to be wasted in it. Like, he's so good that seeing him play Apocalypse, like, in the trailers, I'm not sold on it at all.
I think that's because they're trying to keep most of the Apocalypse stuff under wraps.
I hope so.
I think it is. Apocalypse is going to be a big part of this film.
Yeah.
He's like one of the most interesting Marvel villains.
He's in the title. The other thing that really annoyed me about the trailer was the ending with the hashtags, and it was like, oh, pick your superpower or some bullshit, and it was clearly them trying to copy the Civil War like hashtag thing, where it's like choose your side, hashtag Team Cap or Team Iron Man. Now for Civil War, I totally get that. Like, people will have seen movies with those characters in before, and they'll be like, right, I'm Team Iron Man. You kind of get a feel for what their ideals are from the trailers. Equally, you might just be like, I really like Iron Man, so I'm going to be his team anyway. With this, it's like, one of the hashtags was for Apocalypse, who we've only ever seen in trailers. It's like, oh, it was just so dumb. It was so dumb.
You've got to remember as well, like, I agree with you. I think that the hashtag stuff's stupid, but to be fair, Apocalypse is big. Like,
yeah, I know, but I feel like
fans,
hashtag fuck off.
That's probably more for, like, because a lot of the comic book a lot of people that read comic book, like, X-Men's one of the most popular comic book series. So there are a lot of people who know who Apocalypse is.
Yeah, but are they going to be hashtagging it?
But I agree with you. I think the hashtags are stupid.
They are stupid.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, you know, like you say, because I say that I don't think it makes sense for Civil War either, because even though people have seen them before, like, the characters haven't made their points in the film yet. So it
no,
seems
but we already know where they're
like,
coming from the trailers.
Yeah, but what if you go into a film and you're like, what if you go in and they have like twists and shit, and you're like, I'm Captain America, and then you go in and you're like, whoa, Captain America's a dick in this film.
Well, that would be bad marketing, right?
I think it's just bad marketing anyway.
Probably.
The hashtag thing.
I think this entire trailer was bad marketing. I didn't need to see it.
Okay, well, you're in a bad mood today, so I'm just going to ignore you.
No, honestly, I think at the moment they're doing too many trailers. They're giving away too much.
Buddy.
Yeah, after Batman vs Superman, you cannot disagree with that point. They movie studios are starting to give away too much in the trailers.
Yes,
and
no, I 100% agree.
I would prefer if we had less trailers. Like I said, the trailer we had before the music they used for it and the way they constructed that trailer was a lot more interesting than this, which was just your bog standard generic sort of trailer with lots of loud noises.
Yeah, what I think we need is more J.J. Abrams style movie leading.
Where it's just like, boom, here's the movie.
Yeah, they keep it all under wraps. There's lots of misdirection with the way they're doing stuff. And then when you go and see the film, you're like, wow, I did not think that was going to happen based on what I saw.
Do you know what I would like even more than that? If they shot footage specifically for the trailers. I think like Trainspotting did it.
But the issue with that is like as much as we disagree with the way trailers are done,
yeah,
it would also not and it does annoy. You see when a trailer has like a scene that gets cut later on.
No, but I'm not saying like they do scenes that aren't in the movie at all. I'm saying that the entire trailer is scripted and presented in a way that it's how do I describe this in a way that will make sense to your brain?
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's deliberately made to be a trailer. It isn't made to showcase parts of the movie or anything.
Yes, so in a similar vein to the way that they did those like Deadpool shorts.
Yes, exactly.
But like not necessarily exactly that, but yes, that kind of thing where you've got Deadpool just talking to the audience effectively.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Like again, Trainspotting did it really well. It has happened in a little bit in the past, but I guess it's expensive to do because it's a load more stuff you have to make. Mm-hmm. But I would prefer to see that and less trailers that show every fucking thing that happened in the movie.
Fair enough.
Any other trailers?
No.
So the other thing in nerd news.
I mean, there probably have been other trailers, but we didn't watch them.
They weren't important. The other thing that happened in nerd news this week: Game of Thrones has returned.
Way.
Season 6, episode 1. We're in uncharted territory now.
When you guys are hearing this, the next episode will be playing today.
Yeah. Now, don't worry, don't panic yourselves. We're not going to give away spoilers. We're not dicks.
We aren't.
I liked it. I thought it was fine. 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
It's nice seeing the characters back again. It's doing that thing where it's getting the story moving, but we're not really kind of chugging along yet. Because Game of Thrones, I do find it does tend to take like 2 episodes or so to just get things going.
It's because, listeners, what we've got is like how Liam was trying to say that things go over my head and stuff. Liam's brain only works if he's being given non-stop action and surprises. Yeah. Whereas I can actually appreciate and understand nuances and story arcs. I get that. Liam,
that's lost on me. It's like how any sort of allegorical meaning I just think is pointless and detracts from the movie because it's just too much thinking. Is that it for nerd news? Do we need to go into Game of Thrones more or?
No, I think we can leave it at that.